Hey guys, welcome to the Quo Vadis YouTube channel. We meet every Wednesday at 12:30 in College Center, room 334. In today's video, we will be interviewing Rebecca Lescano, who you might know as the English Department Secretary. However, did you also know that off campus, she is known as Beck Lescano, a songwriter, producer, and singer? This is Rebecca Lescano. We are going to conduct the interview. Thank you so much for having
Of course, thank you.
So why don't we start off with the basics? Where'd you grow up?
I was born and partially raised, I say, in North Bergen, New Jersey, because at the age of 5, we moved to Old Bridge. So I love Union City. I grew up over there, and I return there every summer, even after moving to Old Bridge. So that's where I'm from.
Oh, you're a singer?
I do, yeah.
So you're a writer?
Yes.
So you're like a writer, producer?
Yeah, writer, singer, arrangements, everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I started piano lessons for that purpose because I wanted to be able to construct my own melodies, and it was getting hard to communicate with musicians and be able to tell them what's going on up here and kind of like get that out for them to understand it. So I decided I got to start my piano lessons. But yeah, music's been a big part of my life since I can remember.
Girl.
I mean, yeah, since very young. Musical family.
So like you, like when you were a girl, you always like, like your mom got videos of you singing, like, whatever.
More like tapes, like
right,
cassette.
Well, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, there's actually like audio cassettes that we have where my dad is like the 4 of us, because I'm one of 4 siblings, and he's there and he's training us, and you could hear us giggling in the background and getting off task, and he's like, hey, pay attention, get back on, on the singing and the music. So from a very early age, we were singing for church, and we were singing at home, and it was just always a part of life. Yeah. To this day, my grandmother says that when I was in the crib, like just baby, like I would like lift my hands and hum.
Really?
Yeah, and she was like, whoa, she's singing there.
Wow.
So yeah,
that's great.
That's always been there.
So what type of music do you usually listen to?
I'm drawn to pop,
Yeah.
I like all of it today, what's going on today, and I like to write in that style. I also like a little bit of country. The album that I released has a little country in it. My musical producer sort of took, the reins on that, and he chose what styles and things the songs were gonna have. So I was just like amazed at what he did. The album is No Pierdo Mi Fe, about not losing your faith or one's faith. The whole album came as from an inspiration, from a place where I was kind of like, you know what, like things can get dark in life sometimes, but you kind of just have to keep pushing and meet your goals, and
right. There's always
just look to tomorrow.
There's always light at the end of the tunnel.
Exactly.
Right? All the time. Why don't you talk to us about your album a little bit?
Okay, sure.
What kind of inspired you to sing it? Is there any songs that you hold dear to?
Yeah, absolutely. This all started with the song Eres. I think in maybe around 2016, I wrote the song Eres. I was on my way to like a youth camp trip at my church. I was overseeing the youth group, and we were heading out for a camping trip, and we were in the van, and we were on the road, and the melody for Eres just came, and Eres translated means you are.
You are.
So that melody came, but it came with some lyrics, and it was just the thought in my mind at that moment was, we kind of feel sometimes like life is working against us, because certain situations come up and things kind of seem dark, as I was explaining before. And you kind of start to lose the hope and faith that the universe or your surroundings are working in your favor, and you feel kind of like everything's against you. So for me, I mean, I think of God, and I just think, God, you're working for me. You're helping me out. Wherever I go, I have to believe that your love and compassion and tenderness is there, and that you're pushing me forward, not backwards. So I think that we can get stuck in that place in life sometimes as people, where we think, nothing's going to work out for me. This is headed to destruction. The answer is going to be no. It's never going to change. Things are never going to change. And I kind of just was like, wait a minute, there are good things, and God is for me, and there are great people out in the world, and there is still love in the atmosphere, and in my surroundings. So it just kind of focuses on that, and takes me out of that place of bitterness and says, hey, wait, you really have things good. You have things going well for you. So So just focus on that and just know that somebody's got your back.
So you told us your motivation on the song. So how we go into your mind? Basically, how did you come up with the lyrics, beats?
Yeah,
How did all that?
Sure. Well, first, it happens differently each time. Sometimes I get a melody first, and I'll just start humming a tune. It can happen when I'm doing dishes. It can happen when I'm in the shower. It can happen as I'm driving to work. And I'll just start humming a tune, and I'll say, hey, I really like that melody. And then based on what I'm feeling, what am I feeling? Am I feeling like I'm portraying, something a little darker, something a little lighter, happy, what is the message behind it? And words just start popping into my head, and I'll just say, well, this is what I'm feeling that this melody sounds like. Kind of like colors and, just moods. So once that comes, I just start plugging in words. I start playing around with the syllables because music's all about timing too.
Right, absolutely.
So with the timing of the music and the timing of your hooks and your phrases, you can fit in certain words. And so I'll just start playing with the words of whatever I'm trying to say. And then once I have what I'm trying to say, I try to just branch out from there. Like, you are, so we're talking about it as you are, so what are you? You're my light, you're my strength, you're my comfort, you're my healer. All those things. And that could be applied to a parent, a friend, a close relative, people that are close to us in our lives. They are good to us and they are good for us, just looking at the positive. So that's how I construct. Then I jump on the piano. I try to put some sound to it. Sometimes it's guitar. I play a little acoustic guitar. A little bit. If I get a melody at that moment, I'm inspired, or some type of lyric comes across my mind. If I don't write that down right away, or kind of set myself aside, go into a room, and kind of just sing it out, or even record it, my iPhone.
On your iPhone.
I love it. The voice note app, I use that all the time. I'll sing it into the phone, or I'll go by the piano and I'll play it into the phone. Sometimes if you don't do that right away, you'll lose it. And later on, you're like, what was that melody I had? You have to save them. When they come, you got to grab them and save them and store them.
So you said that your family always recorded, when, your kids would always sing. So you would say that your parents would always motivate you. Do it, always just give it a shot. You don't have anything to lose.
They have. They've been a big motivation. Since they were the ones who taught us from a young age, they've always supported that gift. Keep singing, keep working at it, keep putting music out. And they realize that, and I realize that, it's not just something that you make and for yourself, but it's something that once you put it out there, it can bless other people and it can really inspire others and cause them to see things in a different light. I love hearing other people's perspectives, even other artists. When I start hearing other people's music, I'm like, that was a really neat way of him or her to say that or to put that. The way they kind of brought that out in the illustration of their, the illustration within their song. That was such a neat way to phrase that or say that, and that was such a neat way to take the melody that way or compose or, arrange. So there's so much to it. But yeah, they've been a big support, big time. Even to this day, my mom's like, you're going to make it big. You're going to make it big. Absolutely. Just keep doing it. Keep doing it.
Absolutely. Your mom and parents are always your number one supporter. You can always back them. They always got your back, right?
Right. Absolutely.
So were your parents ever, would they ever sing before?
Yeah, at church. Like I said, this all started from a young age. So at church, they put us in the kids' band, but my parents were also leaders of the church choir, church band. So they would kind of oversee it and direct it, and they would have the rehearsals. And Dad played guitar for that band.
Oh, okay. I see myself doing that. Sometimes I'll be listening to music and I'm like, oh, that's a cool line. And I'll just be singing it over and over and over again, but I won't create anything out of it, right?
It doesn't come easy. Sometimes you really have to hit your head over it. With the wording and the writing. That's been a challenge for me. But one of my next goals and challenges is to take that music from Spanish to English.
Oh,
I really want to expand into English. So
that'd be fantastic. I can't wait to hear more because your album I thought it was really good.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to hear it. Yeah, absolutely. I thought it was fantastic. I just can't wait to hear more. What you have next.
Yeah.
I'm just very excited. One last question, I guess you could say would be: do you have any tips or any strategies for anyone who is kind of pursuing music?
If you've given it a go, don't give it up. Just keep at it. It's one of those things. It's like clay.
Yeah.
You kind of just have to keep working it and working it until you get your writing where you want it and the melody where you want it. It's like anything else. It's like painting. It's like making a meal, you know, cooking. You kind of just have to give it the tender love and care that it needs to create something beautiful. And if there's something beautiful stirring up in you, I mean, it's going to bless somebody. So don't give that up. Don't lose your faith, like the album says. And stick to your dreams. I mean, but it is going to take time. That's my biggest time and effort is number one.
And always just backing up with friends, family. Oh, and never disconnect yourself from friends or family.
Absolutely.
That's something. That's something. Well, thank you so much. Before we go, I would let you know if you could just tell us where you could follow you: Instagram, Twitter, any streaming services that you could find your music.
So I am on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Beck Lescano Music, and the music is streaming on iTunes, Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify, and Amazon Music. It's also on Deezer and like other little, streaming services. Yeah. I just released yesterday the lyric video for No Pierdo Mi Fe onto YouTube.
Oh, perfect.
So that's there too. So check me out. I have a YouTube channel.
Well, that's all we have today. But thank you so much, Rebecca.
Thank you
so much for taking the time
me.
to speak to me.
My pleasure.
And have a fantastic day. And everyone, have a fantastic day.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.